Super Bowl week, Super Bowl Sunday, and Siblings Unscripted is back. Myself, my lovely little sister, we're back on the Sunday, on the Super Bowl Sunday, at least. So we got a lot to talk about. Appreciate you guys actually watching the last episode. Actually did pretty well. The story between us two. So now we get to have some fun. Now we get to talk about some real stuff, things that we really want to talk about. So we're gonna talk about sports today and Super Bowl, how we became fans of our favorite teams, and we're going to recap also the 2024 football season. But let's just start it off with Chaz is actually a Houston Texans fan. Like, what is that
Yeah,
about?
I'm with you. Listen, just be glad that I'm not um a Washington Commander fan like how I used to be, but that was like family inherited.
Hmm.
So my family loves Washington. And I rode with them through their losing season, but I had to switch it up because, you know, I like the way the Texans, when they started making like all the changes in management,
Hmm.
I like what they did. I like how they hired the coach. I like how they drafted CJ Stroud. And yeah, they had a wishy-washy year this season, but it's okay. And I'm still gonna ride with them. Their colors are really nice and beautiful, and you can wear a lot of different things with it. But yeah, I think overall as a team, they're building something good over there. And like I said, it's okay to switch teams if you really want to. Okay, I'm not a bandwagon fan. I did wait after I stopped liking Washington. I didn't like jump to another team. I watched at least for a year or two before I decided to say, "Hey, I'm gonna get some para for the Houston Texans. That's my
Oh,
team."
you got that?
So you can't.
You got that?
No, okay,
Oh,
okay, okay. I bought my hat, and you bought the jersey.
oh,
I appreciate
okay.
you,
All right, just wanted to clear
but
that
I'm
up.
pretty sure the hat that you have on your head, I bought. Okay. Okay, let's don't start
Maybe.
because I'm pretty sure the hat that you wear in all your episodes, I bought that. I'm pretty sure your Cowboys chain that you don't have on today, I'm pretty sure you didn't buy that either. Okay? All right? Capiche?
All right. Well, I mean, if you want to go down that Payday Road, I'm a
We
Cowboys
not, we not.
fan and you're a Texans fan, but obviously we both know that the best team in Texas is actually the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, let's just keep it real. Like, come on. And I was kind of shocked that you actually chose the Houston Texans after you was a diehard Commander fan and you would
I was
never,
not a diehard fan.
but you was rooting for them pretty much every single week. I mean, you wasn't. Here's the thing about you. Like for the longest, I didn't even know what team you was a fan of because you never used to talk about them at all. And then once I found out that you was a Commanders fan, you still didn't talk about the Commanders at all. Like,
Because why would you? Why would you? Their old owner was like, he was bad.
right,
Like, you don't it's okay to like a team and when they're losing, not want to talk about it. Like, I'm surprised you still talk as much as you do about the Cowboys because they have been bad lately. Like, really bad. Dakota is not your savior. I mean, they even went back in the coffers and got Zeke back, and he was not the answer. Jerry might as well go to the sidelines and become the coach, the owner, the GM, because he wants everything his way or no way. You guys are going down in the Jerry flames. And I know you're not happy about that.
wow, wow. It be your own family. It be your own
It's
family. Like, dog, that hurt. That was devastating to hear you talk about my team like that, knowing that I've been a fan all my life of the Dallas Cowboys, but it be your own family.
and that's why I said it's okay to like other teams. Like, okay, I'm a Texans fan, right? But I like some of the things that other teams are doing. So
Mm,
let me give you a few examples, right? I really like that the Chargers pretty much demolished their wide receiver core and
mm.
then got a rookie in there and he's doing his thing. I like that they gave J.K. Dobbins another chance. I think that their quarterback is kind of underrated. So like I like things that other teams do. You you can't even talk about the great things that other teams
Of course
do
I
if
can.
it's not about the Cowboys. No,
I
you
like
can't. You
Kansas
can't.
City. I like to cheer for them. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's the baby goat. The matter of fact, I want to see them win today because I want to see a three-peat in football. Like everybody all of a sudden dislikes the Chiefs because they keep winning. Everybody blames the referees. And I look at the
But you
Chiefs.
do have to admit, I just need you to openly admit the Chiefs have been extremely lucky this season.
That can go for a whole lot of other teams as well, not just the Chiefs. You
Not
can go
not
for the
not in the
Eagles
same way.
too. The Eagles have been kind of
I'm not
lucky.
saying that I don't want the Chiefs to win. I'm not saying that I don't want the Eagles to win. I don't have a dog in this fight.
Mm,
All I want is the score to be certain things so that I could, pocket a little pocket change. With these boxes and stuff, all I care about is the score. I don't care who wins. I mean, would it be nice to see history with a three-peat? Yes. Are Eagles fans like kind of obnoxious? Yes. Am I in New Jersey, which is close to where Philly is, and there are a lot of Philly fans here? Absolutely. Do I have a lot of coworkers that want Philly to win? Absolutely. But all I care about is the score
right.
after each quarter. That's all I care
I
about.
agree too because we definitely got a whole lot of money on the line for this game,
Oh,
considering the score. So I mean, for me, obviously, like I said, I want to see the 3P. I want to see Kansas City win. I want to see the increased conversation of Patrick Mahomes being the GOAT along with Tom Brady as well. So I'm going for the Chiefs, and as a Cowboys fan, I can't like really cheer for a division rival like that. I don't want to see the Eagles get another Super Bowl, even though we got 5 to their 1, and even if they win, 5 is still greater than 2. I mean, I wasn't the greatest in math in high school and in elementary school and middle school, but I do know that 5 is greater
How
than
old
2.
were you the last time? How old were you the last time you won a
It
Super
doesn't
Bowl?
matter how old. I'll be
It
no,
matters.
because I'll be the first to admit that hey, those Super Bowls are old. They may have a little dust on them, but so does a whole lot of other things in life as well. So does my high school diploma. They got dust on it, but you don't hear me talking about that now, do you? So there's plenty of things that got dust on it. So 5 Super Bowls ain't the end of the world
But
because
you don't think that your type of being a fan is obnoxious a little bit?
no, I don't think so because okay, so
Like when they were nowhere near close to being in the playoffs, you released a video to to say what your chances were of winning. I was concerned about you. I was like, "Oh my god." Every time you even bring up the Cowboys in my presence, you said that I have a look on my face because it's like I don't want to tell you like, "Oh, you're not realistic," but I want to tell you like, "Oh, you're not realistic." So I just try to say nothing, and you was like, "I see that look on your face," and I'm just like,
but to my point though, when I made that post, did the Dallas Cowboys not have a chance at winning? That was the whole point of the post. There was a chance. There was a chance that they still could make the playoffs. Where not that was a
but
small
even
chance.
you knew they weren't making the playoffs though. That's
All
the
we needed
point. Is
was
I'm
a
trying to.
chance. Now, did we capitalize on it? No, but that chance is great. And sometimes in life, all you need is a chance. All you need is an
Mm.
opportunity. And that's how Super Bowl and you're holding up the trophy and Dak Prescott's being MVP. I mean, come on. Like,
Even if y'all went to the Super Bowl, Dak would not be the MVP.
he would be the whole reason why we even went. What you mean?
No. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, do you believe that Dak is worth what your team paid him?
Obviously not, but I think he was the best available to be paid that amount. I mean, there was nobody else out there that we can pay to come to the team. We wasn't going to start over, so yeah,
Why not?
because we're the Dallas Cowboys and we're America's team.
You're not America's team. At this point, the Kansas City Chiefs are America's team.
It be your own people, chat. I'm telling you, it be your own people. It be your own family members that just like don't see the vision. She don't see the vision, but that's okay because I will sit and tell
Okay.
her that hey, she will witness a Cowboy Super Bowl before she witness her Houston Texans going to the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna
That's
throw that out there.
debatable. I don't think that's true. But at least I'm realistic. I know that at least my team has been to the playoffs for two. Matter of fact, CJ Stroud has been in the league much less than Dak Prescott.
Hmm.
But him and Dak have the same amount of playoff appearances, which is sad.
I mean, if you want to,
Debate me.
no. I mean, if you want to like
Am I
hold,
lying?
if you want to hold participation as a measuring stick, cool.
But in the same token, I'm gonna say this. They are also not in the Super Bowl So as much as it doesn't count for Dak, it doesn't count for CJ either because they didn't make it all the way.
That I agree with you.
I'm gonna say this. I think that the coaching staff for my team is better than the coaching staff for your team.
We just got a whole new staff.
And
You
we
don't
have
know that. We got a whole new staff. You don't know that.
you don't even like your coach.
How do you know that? Do you listen to the Silver and Blue podcast?
I do listen to it. And I know that it even takes some convincing for you. I had to make sure you were okay for 2 days in a row when they hired that man. You were devastated. Devastated.
Wow. Wow.
To be your only
Wow.
people.
It do be my own little sister. Own little sister. But anyway,
All
let's
right.
just move on. Let's just
All
talk
right.
about a prediction of the Super Bowl. Obviously I'm going for Kansas City. I don't really care what the score is going to be. I just want Kansas City to win by 1 point and host up the trophy. So,
1 point?
by 1 point.
You want it to be a 1 point game?
You know
I think
what?
it's going to be a
No, no,
high
no.
scoring game.
Listen, I will want it to be a 1 point game because I want the Eagle fans to really think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I want them to be built up and so hyped and thinking that they're going to win, and then Patrick Mahomes just rip out their heart and just kick a field goal to win the game and it be over. So I kind of want it to be a close game, but then I kind of don't because I don't want the Eagles to mess around and get lucky and something crazy happen and they happen to win. So I'm totally okay with a Kansas City blowout. So please, Kansas City blow them out. But if I couldn't have that, I want a close game. I want the Eagles
I
to.
want a close game because I just want it to be a good game.
I don't really want it to be a close game, but I'm okay. But I'm gonna set it up. I want the Eagles to get the ball. They down by 1 point. They driving. They down on the 20. They cross midfield. They in the red zone. It is what first and goal. Jalen Hurts throws a pick and loses the goddamn Super Bowl. I would love for that to happen. I would love for that to happen.
I'm going to take it a step further. Not only does he throw a pick, I hope he throws a pick at the end of the game and it's like a pick six and the game is over.
Wow. Well, the last Super
That's
Bowl he
even
did
better.
actually throw he did throw a pick on the last drive. The last time they played Kansas City, so it's possible. I just want Kansas City to win because I can't stand Philly fans. So I got KC. Who you got?
I think KC is going to win. I just hope it's close and I just hope that my boxes hit
Yeah,
because I got some pretty decent
we
numbers.
got a lot of boxes actually on the line. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that to happen as well. So go KC and make sure all our numbers hit so we can cash out.
Right.
That'd be great.
Right. Immediately.
All right, so we was talking football, we talked Super Bowl, we talked our teams. Just recapping the 2024 season, right? Obviously, being a Cowboys fan, bunch of disappointment, bunch of injuries, bunch of things didn't go our way. It was supposed to be our year because we didn't win the year before that, and we didn't win the year before that. So this year, 2024 was looking really, really good, but somehow it went sour pretty early in the season. Like we won our first
The
game
alarm.
and then it went south after that. So it's not really much for me to say as a Cowboys fan about what really happened with the Cowboys, but
Well,
you know,
I'm gonna just say that my team started off good, and then midways they got bad, and then at the end they pulled out some key wins, right?
mm,
But for the season overall, both of us played fantasy football, right? So for the season overall, I do a lot of player watching, and I'm gonna say that even when it came down to the different players. So I know that you did a pod like a video on, your fantasy and all that other stuff.
right.
And Saquon Barkley was like lit this year.
Until he
So
wasn't.
no, he was lit all year long. And the reason why you say until he wasn't was because Saquon Barkley is one of the most unselfish players out there. Like he doesn't care about scoring the extra touchdowns and getting the extra yards and setting the records. He wants his whole team to eat. Like he's very unselfish. And so with all that being said, like the Giants have got to feel like the biggest idiots in the history of football. They should have just paid that man.
Right.
So, like, not only did they lose him, they lost him to a division rival who basically came in. When Saquon played them, he smurdered them and then told them, "It's okay. I don't need to go back in the game. Just let my teammates eat." Like, that's gotta be embarrassing for like Giants ownership to be like, "Dang, I kept Daniel Jones, who I let go during the season because I didn't want to pay Saquon." That has got to be like the most awful feeling. And I know that Giants fans are mad. Like, if I was a Giants fan, I would have been mad. I would never be a Giants fan, but if I was, I'd be heated. I would burn jerseys, just like how some of y'all Cowboys fans do.
Wow.
Just start burning stuff.
Wow.
And then, in terms of the Eagles, they got, in my opinion, one of the biggest crybabies on their team, AJ Brown. He don't get the ball. He have a little hissy fit, make the media. Then he go and try to apologize. No, it wasn't that. We don't have a problem. But he's a crybaby. He's a crybaby.
I mean, I agree with you. What, like, looking back at that Saquon Barkley and Giants thing, like the episode of Hard Knocks, like opened my eyes. And I was like, what is really going on with the Giants? Like, they gonna let this man walk out and test the waters, and then they get mad that he didn't come back and get him an offer to like match or nothing like that. Like, Saquon Barkley was the best player on a
Yeah.
team the last couple of years, not Daniel Jones. Like,
Mhm.
if anything,
Right.
Saquon Barkley made Daniel Jones who he was, and to have them sign Daniel Jones and then release him a few weeks into the season was crazy. And y'all call
Yeah.
Jerry Jones crazy, and y'all say the Cowboys organization is one of the worst. But I think after that move, the Giants definitely moved up the list of one of the worst franchises out there ever,
Yeah.
because I don't know how they
Yeah.
fumbled that.
It was a big time fumble. Big time
Yeah,
fumble. I think in terms of football, though, one of the worst contracts that I think I ever seen is that Deshaun Watson contract with the Browns. Like, that was also insane. So this massive contract, and this guy is like, he's like boo boo. Like,
right,
he is horrible. Like, but I feel like the Browns is a team that people go to for their careers to die. Oh, you want money and you want to be paid and you want to be on an NFL team? Go to the Browns. Look at what happened with Baker Mayfield. He left the Browns, right?
right,
Was with one team, and then with the Bucks. Baker was like really good with the Bucks, and I didn't think he was going to be that way to have to follow up Brady's shoes. But
right.
I'm gonna get like hats off to him. Like he did his thing, with the Bucks. 2 years in a row, he did his thing.
Right. But that just goes to show you that there are certain organizations out there that can't develop talent. And the Browns are definitely one of them, because even now with Myles Garrett of the Browns wanting out of the Browns tells you a lot about the
Right.
organization. There's a lot of players that went through that organization that either like, hey, left them and did well, and then left them and became like quality backups or even started somewhere else. The Browns organization is just a dumpster fire. So it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
surprising that they can't develop a quarterback or develop a running back, because with Myles Garrett leaving, that's only going to leave them what Nick what's the running back name? Nick Chubb.
Nick
Because
Chubb.
remember they had
Yeah.
Amari Cooper too, and Amari Cooper actually had some pretty good seasons when he played for the Browns, when he had a decent quarterback. And they also had Jameis
Yep. And then
Winston.
he left.
So, and he left too. So
He left and went to yeah. So then another move during the season that I thought was absolutely insane was the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. This guy, he's just not great. And then not only is he not great, but he brought his teammates that he likes to play with him. Like when what's his name, the wide receiver went there. First of
Lazard,
all,
Alan Lazard,
Alan
yeah.
Lazard went
Even
there,
Randall
and
Cobb
then
too.
mid-season,
He went for the
yeah,
first
Randall
season,
Cobb
yeah.
was there. And then mid-season, um, Devontae Adams went there. And it's just like, it doesn't matter who you put around Aaron Rodgers. I just can't understand how they have like this amazing young running back and they don't use him. And you have Aaron Rodgers and you just out there letting him do whatever he want to do. You're just going to keep losing. So like I was very not surprised when the Jets just released a statement about how they're going to part ways with Aaron Rodgers.
I'm
And I can only imagine what he's going to say when he goes on to the Pat McAfee show and how he thinks it's going to, how it went down and all this other stuff. Like, get out of here. I wonder what team is going to be desperate enough to bring him in. What if Jerry bring him in? What you going to do?
No, of course not. Unless Dak Prescott is not going to like make the season opener, then maybe. But the thing with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets was that they were thinking that Rodgers was probably the best available quarterback at the time, because you got to think he at least at a minimum was an upgrade of what they currently had in what's Zach Wilson. right? That was a quarterback.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
an
that was the
upgrade to
quarterback.
that, and he also was an upgrade
They coulda got
to
anybody else.
like who though? Who? There was nobody out
I
there available
look,
other than maybe
nobody
Baker,
out there
but
available. Yeah, but in the same token, like, they missed out on a lot. Like, okay, granted, you don't want Jameis. Nobody wants Jameis, actually. Um, who was out there? It was a few quarterbacks that they coulda, like, tried to get in on,
right.
but it was just like, it just wasn't working. I think at the time when he was available, I think Derek Carr was available, but I think they missed out on
Nobody
him.
wants Derek Carr.
It was nope. Yeah, you're right. Nobody wants
Yeah.
Derek Carr, but he ain't horrible.
I still think Aaron
The
Rodgers
way
was an upgrade over Carr, Winston, Zach
But
Wilson.
at this point, at what point do you rebuild your team? Like, what at what cuz like what is their draft spot now? Can they draft or did they deal away their draft pick?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like just do something else. Like roll with somebody that's not that great with like not good name value so
Right.
that the following season you could like build up even more.
But
Like it,
you have to like think of where the Jets was though. Like they were just coming off a very successful, semi-successful season, and their defense was top notch. So they are thinking that a playoff
I think
window
their
or Super
defense
Bowl
is
window
still
was
top
opening.
notch.
Yeah, but you got to have
You don't
something
think
on
their defense
offense.
is still top notch?
It may be still top notch, but at the time, their weak point was on offense at quarterback. So just thought they could bring in a veteran like Aaron Rodgers, and he can elevate the offense to at least win more games, and then they'll be in the playoffs. That was the whole reason why they got
Aaron
him.
Rodgers is like a yeah, he's like a cancer though. I'm glad they cut him out. I'm not a Jets fan, but like when they got him, I was like, oh, it's over. Like honestly,
I don't know. I mean, there was a lot of Jet fans out there that were saying, "Hey, Super Bowl once Aaron Rodgers came." So, and you kind of like saw that a little bit, but it was kind of a little bit of
Aaron Rodgers
delusion.
got their coach fired.
He did, but he also tore his ACL in the first game of his when he first got there too. So it's kind of hard to come back from ACL the second time around. But I understood the hype the first time he came to the New York Jets, and like I said, they were just hoping that he can bring a spark on offense because the defense already was taken care of, and they just had a weak point at quarterback because you got Brees Hall at running back, and you also had Garrett Wilson at wide receiver, but you couldn't find nobody to throw him the
Both are
ball.
really good players.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
couldn't
but
go
both
with a
and both
rookie.
of them are really good players.
Yeah, you couldn't go with a rookie in
You
that
could.
situation. Nah, nah.
I think you could. Like, what's the kid's name that played for the Broncos? Bo Nix? He's really good.
Yeah,
You don't
he's
think?
okay. I mean,
I think Bo Nix is good.
he's okay. I wouldn't go that far to say he's. I mean, because they don't really trust
I'm
him all that
curious to
much.
see which of these quarterbacks is gonna go through the sophomore slump next year. Because you had Jaden Daniels, who was amazing, Bo Nix, who's pretty decent. It's another rookie quarterback too.
Well, being that you're a Texan fan, do you think your quarterback had a sophomore slump? It was his second year.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had a really bad sophomore slump. Really bad. It
Okay.
was really it was hurtful. Matter of fact, next on the list, in terms of jersey, just to put it out there in the atmosphere, I would like a Nico Collins jersey. Okay? All right. I'm glad that I got that off my chest. Nico Collins will be next.
Didn't he just get hurt or something? Was he
No,
hurt or was that Tank?
that was Tank Dell.
Oh.
Tank Dell got hurt again.
But anyways, I don't know about all that. It ain't like you got your birthday until November, so we got a long way to go.
It's okay. It's
We got a long
okay.
way to go. But what else happened in the NFL? Yeah, that we need to talk about for the 2024 season. Like I said, my team had a disappointing season. Your team did make the playoffs, did look kind of promising until they ran into Kansas City. MVP, Lamar or Josh Allen? For me,
Honestly, like if you go off of stats, Lamar should have won. He should have won. I could see why they gave it to Josh Allen, but in my opinion, Lamar should have got MVP this year. Now, the prior year he got it, maybe not,
you know who it
but
should have
this year
went
he
to, right?
definitely
That
should
prior
have got
year,
it.
right? If we're going by stats, Dakota. I'm not wrong.
No,
Which you got
no,
to go back and look at the stats.
no.
Stats wise, no.
I'm gonna go back
Yeah,
and
you
look,
go
but
back and
no.
look, and you tell me stats wise, the MVP should have went to Dak Prescott. and Lamar Jackson stole it. But
Mm-mm.
anyway,
I
Josh
even
and Lamar.
I wouldn't have mind if they had gone a step further and gave Saquon MVP this year. And I know you don't agree with that, but I would have been not surprised and okay with it.
No, no.
Um,
The way that the NFL
and
is
you
set
only
up,
saying that
though,
because
it's a quarterback award. So when they make it running back
it don't
rewards
have
or
to be
wide
a
receiver,
quarterback.
I mean, but MVP, when I think of MVP, like if you take that person off the team, how does that team do? And if you take Josh Allen off the Bills are a lottery team. They are trash.
Yeah,
But if you take Lamar
yeah.
Jackson off the Ravens, they're still pretty good. They got Derrick Henry. They got a nice little
I don't think
defense. I
so.
think they're still pretty good. You got to think.
Not if they don't have a look at the games that the Ravens had to play without. Well, I don't know if it happened at all this year, but previously, right? When they had to play without Lamar, they were horrible.
No, they had that other quarterback, Hunter Hentley or whatever his name was, who was to me
Jason Huntley or whatever
was
his name
just as
is,
good as
right?
Lamar because the game that he
I
has,
don't think
well, the
so.
game that he played, and I watched it, I was like, who is that at quarterback? It wasn't Lamar. It was Hunter. He still
Maybe
was out
y'all
there.
should hire
He was
maybe
still
y'all
doing
should
pretty
hire
good.
him.
No, I don't even know where he is. I think he like in Miami or something like that. But no, absolutely not.
Maybe y'all should hire him.
No,
Why don't y'all go and let Trey Lance play? Give him a chance.
I no no. Trey Lance is throwing 5 interceptions in the preseason game. Absolutely not. No.
Listen, it's a preseason. Preseason don't count.
Well, Trey Lance actually played in the last game of the season. You saw what he did, right? Still throw interceptions. Absolutely not. No.
So does Dakota.
And so does CJ Stroud. How about that?
I never said he didn't. But you so big up on your like you. I'm not saying CJ Stroud is MVP. You're saying Dak Prescott is MVP. Dakota is not
The
it.
year
I
before
think that
that,
y'all should move on
no, the
from.
year before that, Dak Prescott definitely was MVP based on the numbers and based on how everything was performing.
So why didn't y'all go to the Super Bowl? What happened?
The Packers happened. That's what happened. The Green Bay Packers happened. And even in that game, Dak Prescott still had over 300 yards passing. It was the defense that actually cost us that game. Dak Prescott still balled out.
Okay.
But hey, we're
Okay.
talking about Josh and Lamar. I don't really care who has to.
Josh and Lamar.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I do because of Josh Allen, I did good on my best ball. So I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna hold him to it. I think that the Bills overall with Josh Allen are very underrated. Like they have a decent run game. They got decent wide receivers and their wide receivers, they're not like absolutely nobodies, but like Hollins, Shakir, like who are these people that he's throwing the ball to? Dalton Kincaid is pretty decent, but
Right.
he makes mistakes. So I think overall their team is good. Their defense is really good too. So
Yeah. And I thought leading up to the
Bills
playoffs that they was
Bills
going to win.
Mafia was heartbroken. Bills Mafia, they was heartbroken. Like for real, hurt.
And I feel for Buffalo Bill fans because they just ain't been right since the Dallas Cowboys whooped up on them back in the 90s. So I'm just saying, they have not been to a Super Bowl since then. They lost 4 straight Super Bowls. You talking about losing Super
And it's
Bowls?
all Dallas' fault, right?
Is it not? Is it not? How many times did they face the
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys? Like twice, right? And we spanked them.
I don't know.
We spanked them.
You tell me.
And they ain't been
Okay.
right since. But I do feel for the Buffalo Bills, man, because they have had some pretty good teams the last couple of years, and they just come up short somehow. Like I think they
Yeah.
probably should have beat the
Yeah.
Chiefs. When they played the first game, their walkout game, I was like, man, Buffalo is like a scary team to play, and then having to play in
Mhm.
Buffalo, that would have been even more crazier. But the Buffalo Bills ain't been right since my Dallas Cowboys spanked them back in the 90s. So who knows?
Oh,
Talk about a team that's cursed. It might be the Buffalo Bills because they just can't get over the hump.
maybe.
And they had some
They
good
can't.
teams. So
Them or the Ravens actually. Like even the Ravens, you saw how hard they took that loss when they lost to the Bills. Like it
right.
was Lamar was beside
But they
himself.
have a Super Bowl though. Most recent, I mean, it's been 8. That got some dust on it too. But hey, they got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it do. It do.
Buffalo
It do.
ain't Buffalo ain't
Okay.
been since the 90s, and when they was in there, and they lost 4 straight Super Bowls. So I don't know how you lose 4 straight,
Mm.
but I know you lost 2 to the Dallas Cowboys, and y'all ain't been right since.
Oh my
I'm just saying.
oh
I'm just
my
being
God.
totally honest with you.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
it is what it is.
Ah,
America's
it
team is going to
is.
prevail. Next year, it's going to be looking like our year. We're going to get that back. We're going to get See, why you gotta be making faces like that? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I told you I try to hold the face in, but every time you say that, it's like, oh, God, again.
All right, so you're an outsider, right? You're not a Cowboys fan. You don't think they're America's team. Besides Jerry Jones, what can the Cowboys do next year, in your opinion, to be better?
They could find themselves another coach that ain't been with like, and this is something that you said to me, okay? Why would they hire this guy to be the coach when he's been on the coaching staff with Mike McCarthy and they ain't do nothing any of those years? Why would they? It's because he's a yes man. Y'all really need a coach that doesn't listen to Jerry Jones. Y'all need a running back for sure. For sure.
Mm,
And y'all need that to stay healthy an entire season. And when y'all are losing, y'all need Dak to not be on the sidelines talking about, man, we suck. Like, what kind of crap is that?
okay.
Am I wrong?
I agree with you there. I mean, but having a coach that's not going to listen to the owner, I don't know if that's ever going to happen because you can't just go on your regular job and be like, hey, boss, I'm not going to be listening to you no more because I don't agree with you.
If it means winning.
I don't know. I mean, I do think that they could win despite Jerry Jones. I mean, for me, Jerry Jones definitely has put together a good group of people as far as the people that he's drafted. It's just that those players just haven't like executed at the highest level when we needed the most. So you got to think we got what Pro Bowlers on our team, Hall of Famers on our team: Zach Martin, Michael Parsons, C.D. Lamb, Dak Prescott, um, and I think some other names as well. DeMarcus
Y'all still
Lawrence.
got Bland.
Yeah, Bland, Diggs, all great players that
Yeah.
can start on another team, and
I
we got it. And we
yeah,
got a lot.
it probably could, but guess what? Y'all not gonna be able to pay all those players soon. So
That's gonna be a lot of
I mean,
people
I don't
too.
know what this
That's gonna be a lot of teams. The Eagles ain't gonna be able to continue to pay their people as well. So I mean, they're gonna probably lose a lot after this off season. They're gonna lose a lot of players, but Michael Parsons, he ain't going nowhere. So we got to pay him. Obviously, having your money tied up into like 3 or 4 players is actually a bad thing, but there's nothing we can really do.
then y'all pay CD. Y'all paid CD already,
Yeah,
right?
we stuck with Dak Prescott. We stuck with CD. We stuck with part of Michael Parsons for at least like the next 2 to 3 years. So it ain't looking good, but next year's our year.
Well, maybe y'all need to put in a call to the 49ers and see if you can maybe get Debo for cheap. I mean, he don't stay healthy. Maybe you better call Jerry. You know, Debo got permission to seek a trade. Maybe,
Have you seen
maybe.
Debo Samuel's pregame outfits? We don't need nobody
No,
that dressed like that in the locker room. We're good on that.
no.
Look it up. Look up some of
Well,
his pregame outfits. We're good on
I
that.
am. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it
We're
up.
good on that. But we talked about my Cowboys, so let me just give my outside perspective of your Houston Texans and
Yes,
talk
please
about
tell
your
me. Tell me.
quarterback. Okay,
Okay.
the Houston
Hmm.
Texans are decent. Are they a great team? Borderline great, but I think they have a ceiling, and I think they already hit that ceiling the last 2 years. I think the Texans are probably one of the most overhyped teams out there. From week to week, I don't think they're as good as people try to make them out to be as far as their fans. Do I like CJ Stroud? I like him, but I think he definitely had a sophomore slump this past season, and I think that continues going into his third year because, as you fans will put it, it's the offensive line problem. But CJ is the one that's out there throwing the ball into triple coverage into the other team. So could the offensive line get improved? Yes. But I don't think you guys, as long as Kansas City continue to be good, you guys are probably a wild card team or something like that. As long as the Ravens are out there, you guys are a wild card team because I don't think you guys' record is a true indication of how much work you guys need to continue to have. And I know y'all was facing injuries and you lost some people, and Joe Mixon was here and there and everywhere sometimes. But I like you guys, but then I don't like you guys because you guys are in the same state as my Dallas Cowboys. But
That's okay. We're gonna catch a game together. They gonna play each other. You gonna wear your stuff, I'm gonna wear my stuff, and we gonna be good.
Yeah, we gonna be good. I mean, we could definitely catch that next season. But yeah, I like you
It's a
guys.
bucket list
I
thing.
like you guys, but I just think you guys are a little bit overhyped. Your quarterback needs some work. I don't think your quarterback is as good as people try to make him out to be. I mean, obviously he can make some throws. He's mobile. He can do all that good stuff, but you guys are going to be forever a wild card team. So, and if you don't win the Super Bowl, it's only one Super Bowl winner. So it don't matter that you made the playoffs and my Cowboys didn't, because I don't operate in a participation era.
Oh, here
Okay,
we go.
a lot of you guys be
Here we
like, "Oh,
go.
my team made it. My team made
And
it."
this is why people talk bad about you Cowboys teams, because it doesn't even matter that y'all are doing horrible. You just want to put down all the other teams to make it seem like your team is better. And that's not true.
Mm,
It's not. And that's why Cowboys fans are not respected. And the more y'all lose, the more audacious you get about it. So it's just like, I'm like, okay, my team made the playoffs, and yeah, they made the wild card. And yes, they do need an offensive line. And yes, CJ Stroud did have a sophomore slump. But you don't hear me. I'm not disagreeing with your stuff. I'm not being combative about it, because y'all are downright combative and abrasive fans. This is why people don't respect y'all.
I,
And y'all wait for other teams to lose and be like, oh, well, we got more Super Bowls, or we got what. Okay, in the past. Let's talk about the here and now. And y'all don't like talking about the here and now.
I mean, the here and now is that even the Texans don't even have one Super Bowl. And here's the biggest argument, right? So
A-
it's been 30.
And that's fine. They're a rebuilding team. Y'all
Right.
have yet to call yourselves a rebuilding team. It's like every year, oh, this is our year.
Yeah, the
Like,
Cowboys,
like
we're never
there's
going to
nothing
rebuild.
wrong with rebuilding,
Now, we would never be
but
in a
it's nothing
rebuild.
wrong with doing
There's
that.
nothing wrong with it, but we're America's team.
You're not.
We're not going to be doing
Right
no
now, the
rebuilding.
Chiefs are America's team.
But, however, if it's been 30 years that the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl, I'm still so confused about what is taking some of these other teams so long to get one Super Bowl. So, in 30 years, you telling me some of these other organizations can't get one Super Bowl or two Super
Right.
Bowls or three
Well,
or four, or that's just crazy to me. That's just crazy.
but
But either way, it's gonna be a sad day come tomorrow, because the NFL season will be over and we got to find something else to watch. And
right.
I guess we'll have to like move on to the
Basketball is
NBA.
coming. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a real big NBA person.
Mm,
I'll watch it for the sake of watching. I do think that some of these trades that I've seen recently are like the Luca trade.
right.
I was like, you saw that?
And we can tackle that
So
next
yeah.
episode. We can switch to a different sport. We can talk about NBA. So this episode was mainly geared around football and introducing her as a Texan fan and figuring out why she left the Washington Commanders when she did, which was like 2 seasons ago. So they did get new ownership or whatever. So, I get it. I still don't understand why she picked the second best team in Texas, but that's okay. That's okay.
It's okay. And so I'm good with being the person to agree to disagree. Whereas you're not good with that, but I'm good with that, and that's all that matters.
I guess. So in early 2025 Super Bowl champion, who do you have? I know it's early
For next
for next
season,
season. If you had to throw a team out there, who you got?
because I know how you are, I'm gonna say that my team is gonna go to the Super Bowl and win the championship. Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
I'm gonna say
Because it's your year, yep, right?
if you guys make it to the Super Bowl, that means you guys are gonna be facing us, because as you're right, it is our year. So you guys are in the AFC, we're in the NFC. So next year, you heard it here first. You will see the Houston Texans versus the Dallas Cowboys for the Super Bowl. And you seen the colors of the Super Bowl logo?
Nope.
Those are cowboy
Mm-mm.
colors. It's silver and blue. Those are cowboy colors. And there's a theory out there that based on the color scheme, that's the teams. And so far, the last 4 years, it pretty much has matched up to the people that's going to Super Bowl. And this year's logo is actually blue and silver. And that's what this
Here you go
is.
with your
That ain't
theories.
my
Your
theory. I didn't
theory.
make it up.
On that
I
note,
didn't make it up.
let's wrap it
That's crazy.
on that note.
All right, Siblings Unscripted. Make sure you guys listen on your favorite podcasting platforms. Hit that subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell icon so you know when we drop another video. Once a week, we're going to come through Siblings Unscripted, myself, my little sister, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Peace.